Because Jesus came for sinners. He alone is able to save sinners. But of course, you have to know that you are in need of saving. My rebellion showed my parents how far they were from God and how much they needed Jesus. They learned to live by faith in the most disappointing circumstance. As my parents lived the gospel in front of me, asking for forgiveness, being transparent about their sins and weaknesses, and not giving up on loving me, I saw that being a Christian might be for me too. The true gospel met my need exactly. Eventually, I didn't see how I could live without it. But this book, and the gospel of Jesus Christ, is about more than solving a difficult relationship. It's about the power of God to change the hardest of hearts, and how that change spreads from person to person, so that eventually the bright hope of the gospel spreads through the whole world. It started out small. My parents were humbled and learned to rely on Jesus. Then I became a Christian. Angelo became a Christian. Friends and family became Christians. And God has used all of us to tell others about Him all over the world. When you finish this book, it may seem like our story was wrapped in a neat bow. But really, it was just beginning. God invited me, called me, and made it impossible for me to refuse to enter with Him in a grand adventure. Like all adventures, it has had many highs, where we were privileged to see God at work in amazing ways. It has also had many lows, some so sad that they are impossible to speak of. But through it all, we have seen God weaving a web of glory. We see today, just as we did many years ago, the power of God to save prodigals of all kinds. We still need Jesus as desperately today as we needed Him when we first turned to Him for forgiveness. Perhaps more. Our faith has been tested and tried. But we look to Jesus. And we look forward to the grand day when, in the words of Julian of Norwich, all shall be well, and all manner of things will be well. We know it's coming, and we can't wait. Barbara Miller Juliani.
A Father's Introduction. As we raised our 5 children, my wife and I believed that each was a gift from God, that all of them were special. We were convinced that God had given them to us for an important purpose, and as an expression of that faith, we made our children into our close friends. The story that follows is the journey we made with one of those friends, a friend who was even to forsake us for a time, our daughter Barbara. This is a story of intense sorrows, with us as parents being crushed many times by events beyond our control. But we always were Barbara's friends, no matter what she did. And for her part, she always saw us as her family. Paradoxically, this was true even when she bitterly rejected us and our values, and blamed us for her problems. Now comes the hard question. If our home had such faith and love, did I fail Barbara as a father? If so, how? This book tells the full story. Although I do not believe that my child's flaws are always mine or are caused by me, I also know that I failed Barbara in ways too numerous to mention. I suspect every thinking parent knows that he or she blunders. But in my role as Barbara's father, there was a particular serious flaw that I now see, though I did not see it when she was an adolescent. It was a sin of omission more than of commission. In brief, my friendship with Barbara was inadequately cultivated when she entered the junior high years. I did not work to touch her inner life when she came to the crisis period.